going to look at some alternate picking. Alternate picking is picking every single note with a down and an upstroke, or an upstroke and a downstroke, depending on where you're starting from. As I'm picking, I'm using a downstroke, then upstroke, then downstroke, then upstroke, then downstroke, then upstroke. For this lesson I am using the E minor scale. It's good to practice picking, as most music you'll play will have an element of picking in it, whether it's rhythm playing or lead playing. So it's good to have the left and the right hand, or right and left hand if you're left-handed, synchronised so you can play the notes that you want to without having to think about what the right hand is doing. Here's a closer look of how the pick should look when picking the strings. Notice that I'm not using overly large movements in the right hand. The closer the guitar pick is, the less movement the hand has to make. Another good point would be is not using too much of the end of the pick beneath the string, so you can have more of a gliding motion rather than having the whole pick slicing through the string, which will cause friction and cause you to slow down. However, it is better for a more aggressive, bigger sound. But for a speedy playing, when alternate picking, it is important to have small movements in the right hand. Holding the pick firmly in the right hand with no movement of our two fingers at the front, our thumb and our first finger. We're going to support it slightly with the ball of our thumb on the pick. And there's a small movement. The pick doesn't need to move any further than the size of the string itself. So here's a couple of ideas of how you can practice your scales with alternate picking. I do recommend a metronome to practice these ideas. I'm going to play eighth notes, so I'm going to play 2 notes per beat to this click of 80 BPM, and I'm just going to use the first 6 notes of an E minor scale starting on the A string. Once you're comfortable with the feeling of alternate picking, try taking it to the rest of the scale shapes you know. Notice how at the end there I went from 2 notes per beat to 4 notes per beat. This is a good way of increasing speed. Here's another example of what you can do to increase stamina and speed using a metronome. First I'm going to start the exercise with 2 notes per beat, and then I'm going to intersperse 4 notes per beat. So starting with 2 notes per beat. Let's take that idea up and down and see how it pattern. Practicing to a metronome like this will not only increase your ability of speed and a feeling of synchronicity between the left and right hands, it will also help your musical expression when improvising, because you'll be able to go to do 2 different kinds of speeds without having to change gear, so to speak. You'll be able to do it in a flowing motion without having to think too much about playing fast or playing slow. You'll find it a natural progression into different rhythmic subdivisions.